that was an absolute wild weekend in terms of crypto. So if anyone is new to crypto, pretty much you have been completely welcomed to the entire space of what happened over the last 48 hours since Friday, I think it was. So yeah, late Friday, early Saturday. You can see here overall Bitcoin chart. We obviously were selling a lot of sell pressure happening back at the start of Friday. Seemed like some people knew what was coming, obviously, except the normal people like ourselves. And obviously, we had a massive sell off right down, the whole way down to 105,000, 102,000 actually, and pretty much every single altcoin followed. Even some dropped. I know S dropped the whole way down to under 10 cent, I think it was. Yeah, no, down to under 10 cent. Still hasn't had a major big bounce compared to most other tokens. I suppose Cake had a big drop down to 149, 150. I didn't even realize it went this low, and we were after recovering a good bit now back up to the 340. Hopefully, show some signs of maybe consolidation. BNB had a basically retraced the entire way. So if you got in on it at $800, you're happy out. Now I bought some tokens, but no way did I buy them down this low. I might have bought them in around here, and normally what tends to happen is this entire crypto market does this quite often, I suppose, when you have people in that can dictate what happens very quickly. So Trump obviously announced it was, what was it got to do with tariffs with China, 100% tariffs, and that was announced I think Friday evening pretty much, and the markets absolutely capitulated. So I suppose the key thing here is what do you do? How do you plan for these, and how do you get into it? Now, full disclosure here, I'm in the Aster LP. I'm obviously out of range now in this position. You can see we were only after getting back into it again, and obviously everything happened and dropped out. Now, one thing I'd like to see here is impact tokens had and how quickly tokens actually recover. This to me tells me potentially strength in the entire ecosystem and strength in the tokens itself. So the Aster token obviously dropped down. We had a bit of sell off, but it's settled at around 117. Hopefully we can level out here a little bit and push back up. I like seeing this growth, and I like seeing this actually ability to kind of respond and bounce back. As I said, I think in a post the other day, I tweeted out that it could see a very quick recovery. Maybe it's not as a quick. Hopefully we get a bit of chop, maybe a bit of chop, and then hopefully back up to the upside again. So with that, you look at the crypto market, you can get an idea here of some of the solid tokens, I suppose, in terms of growth and how much they've recovered. So this is obviously updated on a daily basis, and you can see here SNX is up 119%, Tau 21%, IP is up 21%. There's some of these are obviously down still, and these are the ones I will be keeping a close eye on to see what's impacting Pump, especially here. That's down a good bit. Pite is up 18%. I know there's a massive problem with oracles when everything was happening, and I almost got liquidated myself because of the Rabi wallet actually. Rabi wallet wouldn't work for me. No wallet was working 100%. I had to use MetaMask to kind of add funds to leverage positions I had. I thought I had everything planned to a T, and obviously if the market started to crash in some way, I have a way to kind of manage and maintain it, and nearly shot myself in the foot because of obviously the Rabi wallet wasn't working, but managed to kind of cover myself, close a few positions, took a little bit of a hit, but overall, even an example here, the Aster position, I still hold open because I'm hoping that we get back into range again without actually obviously having to sell here at a loss. At the moment, farming, so there's still some decent enough APRs going around there for different positions. I know the Wrapped ETH USDC one is around 169 still. This is obviously just using VFAT, and this is something I'm going to be definitely taking a closer look at. USDC, MUSD. This is nearly sure it's EtherX MetaMask USD, so I have to double check that. But there's a decent APR there for stablecoins, which in this moment in time could be really, really lucrative, I suppose, to be in. We have USDC, Bitcoin again, 45%, not too bad. So definitely opportunity still out there. Obviously, the key thing here is how do we take advantage of it, and where does the market kind of go? There is going to be still a lot of people holding out because they're not sure what's happening. I know if Trump mentions anything in relation to China and tariffs again, it could be a big thing. I also mentioned, was it Saturday or Sunday, that Trump or JD announced or something like that it may not be 100% tariffs, or it might have maybe shouted out a bit quickly. So that's something to always keep in mind. But I think personally what you need to kind of do, and maybe look at it from here is when you see massive sells like this, it could be a way of the market just flushing out, obviously, your overexposed longs and getting an opportunity. Yes, it's very risky. It's very nerve wracking to jump into these when you're buying downwards. But I suppose the key thing here is if Bitcoin is at 120,000, would you have took the opportunity to buy it at 105,000? And for most times, I always have some sort of plan in place to potentially buy it. Again, if we start to drop off again, I will look to potentially buy again. However, I would be keeping a close eye here now. Does the price of it start to drop down to fill this entire wick up now? It happens to the upside, filling the wicks, and it happens to the downside. So something to definitely keep an eye on to see what's happening there. So overall, yeah, you know, not too bad. Obviously, it's a shock. If you're new to crypto, it's a complete shock. It was still a shock to me the other day when I seen it happen. Obviously, it's not as bad, I think, for me anymore. I'm a bit more accustomed to, I think, the big drops and stuff like that happening in the space. So look, I wanted to just bring you a quick update of where I am, how things are going. Pretty much still farming away positions. Obviously out of range, like I mentioned, the Aster token and stuff like that. So look, if you're interested in joining the group, let me know in the comments. It's all the links are there, and pretty much see you in the next one.